Is feeling right more important than being really understood? More important than your inner peace? For me, competition fueled me, biting deep into fights and shaking the situation mouthful like a fiery bulldog with rapid fire thought filled brain. Success getting any word in, adrenaline was a sweet, sweet rush that replaced my fears every single fight I had to win. You're gonna yell? I'm gonna make myself giant and yell even louder. To say I had an uncontrolled wildfire temper would be an understatement. I'm gonna get the largest shield with the most spikes and words, and the last one too. Yeah, that was winning to me. I had to win. I had to be right at any cost, even at the cost of my peace and health. Being right was the ultimate goal, but I wasn't winning shit. With every outburst, I was affecting my health, my actual immune system. With every 1-2 protecting of my ego, I was damaging the relationship, the one with them and the one I have with myself. It was all about fear. Fear of loss, fear of being hurt, fear of being left, fear of not being understood. The oh fuck conflict was the Colosseum and the return to prison after I won. Listen, you don't even have to recognize that oh fuck feeling when your body is flooded with adrenaline and French bulldog dozers, but then you do. Sit with the uncomfortable of someone else being uncomfortable. I do one of two things. Being upset, stuff it all into the depths of my being from my tippy toes on up until it was coming out my eyes in deep despair and hopelessness tears, which happens to be how my mom handles conflict without the tears, or exploded at every opportunity available. It was a convenient place to offload my anger. Are you going to start? Here we go. Bring it. Ding, ding, gloves flung, which happens to be how my father handles conflict, unbridled, unthoughtful anger. Even when I started to learn to speak with I statements about how the behavior was affecting me, it still felt yuck, but more, especially when in my past nothing changed in doing so. Pay attention to behavior patterns. People show you their future selves in actions, even when their words are saying differently. What feels more yuck, though, to me, is me continuing that behavior that could be hurting others or holding in my upset to avoid the war and the displacement of my inner peace. It was defense, defense, defense for me, excuses, but no real mutual goal of understanding each other, with a solution focus on finding ways to live smoother or more in harmony. Excuses, then jab, 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 deflect. I was not one to walk away from an argument. It was all about the win and then feeling like rain on shit. I didn't feel any kind of better after all was said and done. Nothing was solved. Patterns continued. My peace would go on vacation to tropical summer lands, and I'd be left with bitter winter in my heart. It wasn't us versus the problem. It was us versus each other, them or I versus me being right. Who cares if the problem doesn't get solved? At least you're right, right? Yuck. Tell me, how does it feel in a fight when you feel like you've won in the rightness, but your partner or your chosen family or your family still feels like a dried up mushroom after fighting again with your ego? How does it feel when you've attacked and defended actions that were probably not doing anyone good? Really, how does it feel? Does your ego hug you in the middle of the night? Does your ego wipe away those tears from your eyes? Does your ego cuddle with you during the rough times? Does your ego listen to your sorrows? Did your ego get a trophy? Won every fight since 1996. Nah, your ego in your righteous anger wants to take over at the expense of your peace and the peace of those around you. Now, I'm not saying throw away your identity or let someone steamroll you. This is not about being a doormat or becoming a selfless void of no ego or personality. You need to be firm and strong with your needs, your boundaries. Our egos can protect us, yet sometimes we need protection from our egos. But fuck, you got to make time to know your boundaries. You don't have to Buddhist monk your way through conflict. You also don't need to set the whole relationship on fire to protect your pride, your honor, your inability to face, well, maybe our actions are affecting the relationship. Maybe our actions are harming the situations. And oh yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Learn to say, you know what, I'm wrong here. When you realize you are, instead of doubling down on some bullshit coding of your ego. I am wrong is a powerful statement. When you can accept responsibility, accountability, the mending, the growth begins. When you have the self-awareness to know where you can grow Accept that we have flaws, that we make mistakes, and that we can hurt others. This gives the other the reassurance in them knowing we know we're in the wrong, so they know that this behavior won't continue hurting them. So they are aware that we know we're fucking up, so we don't keep fucking up. Because guess what? We all fuck up. It's how we look at our behaviors, how we mend, how we repair, how we make up. That's what really matters. Understanding and mending after our fuck ups so we don't repeat the same fuck ups again and again. If you continue the same fuck up again and again, even if multiple people have brought this to your attention, it's no longer a mistake, it's a choice. So I thought to myself, maybe I do just need to sit with that pit in the stomach, uncomfortable, and heart listen. Sit with it completely, listen, be wholly in the moment, wholly with these uncomfortable feelings, with the ultimate goal of understanding your feelings of being upset. It's a practice, that's for sure. But each time I'm in it, it feels less in pit in the stomach and more solid right here, rooting at peace. Heart listening, it's freeing. Even if your upset isn't even close to an upset I would ever experience, even if it feels logically like nonsense, it's your upset, and I need to listen to that intently. And if any kind of cruelty comes in, I'm walking away with my peace intact. My mission is understanding the treasure of understanding why you're feeling this uncomfortable feeling through my uncomfortable. And then do the only part I can in this moment. Control my reaction to your upset. I can't control your feeling, nor should anyone ever. It's your feeling. Own it. Vocalize it the best you can. Now, mind you, I wasn't what I call going for the jugular fighter. You know, the type they holster really mean things to stop you in your tracks. My guess is that they practice them for later. These people take your vulnerabilities you shared with them in different times and weaponize them for the sake of winning. If they can cut you down in a fight with your vulnerable feeling you share with them, and they stored, boom, winner, right? Nah. In conflicts where our ego is more important than our health, our peace, our well-being, or our relationship, or the other person, when the ego being right, being the winner, is above all, there's really no winners, only two losers, fighting for your need to be right, when you know you're also responsible for the situation, because every relationship needs accountability. You have to have room for growth. I will temper my temper, be gentle to my anger like a child, and just leave out of musting to be right. There's nothing worth my peace, not competing, not winning, not puffed up peacock pride. And what I want least of all is to lose more joyful moments with the people I love because of my need to be right. How the fuck am I ever learning if I'm always right? Please help me see where I may be in the wrong so I can change. So these conflicts happen less and less, but it really takes facing your fears, getting real with your fears so they don't become a third person in any of our relationships, learning how to handle conflict, shelf your ego, making being right way less important than how someone else is feeling, and recognizing where you've made mistakes is a vital part of life. Unless you've decided to live on an island in a cave by yourself, decide that your inner peace and your ability to change where your behavior is affecting others needs to be a top priority. Self-awareness, self-reflection, and sitting with your feelings and the feelings of others and the not-so-fun ones has to become a necessary need to do in life. Or you can buy a plane ticket to your cave or live in your home alone, hermit style, and you can be as much as you want, alone. Misunderstandings will always happen in life. We're completely different aspects of the universe with decades of conditioning. But we can reflect on where we're at, where we can grow, and how we can repair our cracks before we knock more cracks into others. We can self-reflect in awareness and compassion and empathy and do what we can from this perspective of the universe. In understanding, we unite. In our demand to be right, we divide. In healing, we all heal. Healing people heal people. Question is, do you need to always be right at the expense of your peace and everyone who loves you? Or does your heart want to be understood too? To be understood, we must offer understanding with gentleness to others' hearts. To be loved as we are, we must be love in this understanding of each other.